After reading Mark chapter 2, I'm in one of those fantastic places of tension that the Bible can create between inspiration and conviction. I'm totally inspired to do something, but then immediately I'm just convicted by the fact that I don't really do it. In Mark chapter 2, verse 20, Jesus says this. He says, "But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and on that day they will fast." On that day they will fast. I've noticed something in ministry that when you start talking about fasting, if you're preaching or whatever, people get nervous, right? Like people just start kind of finding something to do. Now all of a sudden they're on their phone, and ladies are digging in their purses, and people are counting ceiling tiles and things, and it's just they don't want to make eye contact with you. It's just sometimes it's like, oh, fasting, we cheer it when other people do it, yay, but it's not something that maybe we really do that often. And for me, I've fasted primarily for two reasons in my walk with God. One is connecting the idea of fasting to Luke chapter 9, verse 23, where Jesus says, if you want to follow me, you have to learn to deny yourself, take up your cross. In other words, you got to die to a lot of things. And for me, fasting has just been the most practical way to learn how to deny myself things that I want. It's practical. It's effective. It works. It is a great way to learn how to discipline yourself and to grow in your relationship with God. So I fasted for that reason. I fasted for clarity, for direction. I felt God, God's leading me in this direction in life. And so I'm fasting going, God, is this really where you're taking me? But in Mark chapter 2, they're asking Jesus, we see these people fasting, we see these people fasting, but we don't see your disciples fasting. And Jesus just kind of looks back at them and says, you don't see them fasting because I'm right here. When I'm not here anymore, when I'm not present like this anymore, then you'll see them fast. Because there will be a desperation for my presence. There will be a longing in them. And fasting will be the appropriate response when they're in that place of absolute desperation. And I'm thinking about that. I'm hearing what Jesus is saying, and I'm going, I fasted for these reasons. I fasted a lot for these reasons. But I honestly couldn't remember the last time in my life I fasted, just because I want to be in his presence, just because I want to be with Jesus. And so I find myself praying, Jesus, bring me to that kind of place of that desperation, where I want to be with you so much that I become more and more willing to sacrifice whatever it takes just to be with you.